How's it going, guys? This is Vaughn, and we're back in American Truck Simulator once again. And we have a very interesting mod we're going to look at here today. This is, pardon the lengthy name, the King-of-the-Road 2016 Texas Edition Custom Shop version Pro 24 for ATS 1.52/1.53. That's a pretty lengthy title there, if you ask me. So basically, it's a W900. It's got tons and tons of options. Customization is through the roof. But I basically wanted to cover it today. That way you can see what you're getting into before you purchase it. That's kind of my goal when it comes to certain mods that I like to, I don't know, just kind of showcase maybe. I don't really go through the whole build and drive thing. That's more for like, there's a YouTuber named Freebeard. He does plenty of those. I don't know if he's done this truck yet, but if you want more of that kind of style, definitely check him out. He's very, very thorough when it goes to, through all the mod configurations and customization options, and then he'll do a drive with that. So definitely can recommend his channel. I always link to it in my descriptions. But for the sake of this video, we have Fishpants Modding's tanker back there. We're just going to kind of do a little run here. We're outside of Sidney, Nebraska. So we're going to take a little drive over there and see what we got. So for this one, we've got kind of an interesting, we've got a Mercury sleeper on there. We've got, it's a super long truck, obviously, to make room for the sleeper. But I think it's pretty good. I think the customization is really nice on it. The model's pretty decent. It's nothing like state of the art or anything, but you've got like tons and tons of options to choose from. We've got our beacons back there too. So everything's working just fine. We've got a cat engine in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside the cab right now. That way we can hear the engine start up from inside. So going to do something a little different this time. So let's get it started. That sounds pretty nice, I think. I think so. All right, so let's get on our run here. I'm going to go ahead and we'll probably, let's go ahead and get the windows up because it's going to get loud when we get rolling here. I want to say we have a 3407 is the option according to the menu when we built this truck. So as you can see, I mean, we are just overloaded with stuff in here. We've got our stereo, we've got our CB radio, we've got a tablet up there with kind of a like it integrates with your tablet or your phone. GPS in the top left corner. We got some buttons, some gauges all across. There is an option where you can, instead of that button box there, you can get a reverse camera, but it's been buggy for me. I haven't gotten it to work. I was going to ride with that initially, but it's got some issues that need to be worked through, I think, by the modder. Plenty of stick options for your shifter. It's compatible with Sissel's Mega Pack, so you can see we've got like some boxes, random stuff in there, and we got our hat up there. We got our Kenworth keychain sitting up there. It's got plenty of steering wheel options. It's got 3 dash options for the dash plate, which are okay. We went with the chrome kind of style that you can see back there. It's got a wood grain option, then a paint option. The wood grain isn't the highest detail, so it's, it's okay. Obviously, the pedals and the floor look pretty nice. Performs well, it runs smooth, so, I mean, what more can you ask for, right? Tons of detail, tons of stuff on the inside. As you can see, we can check out the sleeper. Plenty of room back there, so that's pretty nice. The seats look good too. I don't think you can customize the seats, but those look, pretty good, so they're kind of default. So that's what we got. I mean, off to a good start, and I think it's got a lot of good potential as long as they stay on top of the updates. There are more sleeper options coming soon, as per the mod maker's newsletter that gets sent out when you buy the truck. So that's what it is. So we'll go ahead and get rolling here then. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Can probably take off here in one high. And yep, looks like we're clear right there. I think we're going to turn left immediately here, yeah. Glad we shut those windows, because even with the windows up, it is loud in here. especially for me, because I always keep my my game audio pretty high in my headphones. Makes it easier to talk, because if it's too the game audio isn't loud enough, like it's too quiet, I end up talking quieter too. So that's what that's about. I'm not really understanding. I guess these cab physics are gonna take some getting used to. Our piece there that attaches to the CB radio is kind of floating around there, so. Oh, and then I can see the, I guess the air freshener is supposed to be behind the CB radio, but it's kind of glitching through there a little bit. It's a little bit weird. There's also another weird issue. I don't know if it's weird, but I don't know if you can see, because the interior in here is kind of dark, but our sun visor, it does have options in the build, you know, in the shop when you're building this truck, to have the sun visors kind of dropped. And I don't mean the sun visor on the outside, I mean the inside. The sun shield on the inside. Didn't shift. There we go. You can have it down, but if you do that, it glitches inside of your GPS on the left. So it's kind of weird stuff like that feels like the different options were just kind of like tossed in and not really tailored around other parts. So you kind of got to have a little bit of attention to detail when you're building this truck, to make sure that certain parts that you add don't conflict with others, because they will if you're not watching out for that. Okay, actually we're gonna go ahead and take this turn. That guy's still a ways off. After we pick up here, I'm going to also go into some more detail about this mod. Specifically the means of obtaining the mod and how to install it, because it is a process, as we'll talk about. I think we're right here. I'm pretty sure. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so we got us a job going to Casper, Wyoming. So I think our load is right there. Yep. We'll see how this goes. Lately, with the different trucks that I've been driving, the exhaust blocks my my mirrors. So hopefully that's not the case. This one is a bit of a tight one here, so we're gonna have to do some maneuvering, and we have a very long truck. Doesn't really help us. I'm already anticipating we're gonna hit something. Maybe not. Anyway, my goal is just to get us straighter before we fully commit to this. I don't really care about being too, like, you know, inside the lines, because for the most part we're just trying to get in and get out on this one. Don't want to hit that. And it is tighter than it looks in here, so we'll see how we make out here. I think we'll be able to get it just fine now. Okay, now I'm starting to see the lines. Okay, so let's actually do this, 'cause I think I'm going in a little crooked. That's not reverse. I have a feeling we're crooked. Yeah, I think we are. All right, that's a little better. I said I wasn't going to sweat it, but I kind of did anyway. Okay, let's get loaded up. We should get plenty of daytime on this drive. It shouldn't be too long. We'll kind of not waste any time. Yeah, those those weird physics are going to take some getting used to. I would imagine that... yeah, we do turn right. Whoa. For some reason I heard... after she said turn right, I heard turn left. That'll make sure that I wasn't making a mistake. Another Kenworth going by. So... what was I going to say? I was going to say something. I forgot now. That's our Jake. I kind of went too hard on the brakes there. Oh, he's turning, okay. Definitely get you to hear the Jake in a better opportunity here. I'm gonna go into the left lane because this lane's gonna end anyway. I think that'll be fine. Yeah, I'm sure that some of you real truckers out there do have a setup like this with your CB radio, to where it kind of holds on up there and it's bouncing around all the time. I'm gonna have to get used to that because it's it's a lot of motion. But I will say I'm all for having as much stuff inside the cab as possible. I'm all for whatever makes it feel more realistic to you, so. Here we go. That's what the Jake sounds like. All right. Doesn't really seem to mind me skipping gears here, so I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm not trying to over rev on purpose. Just trying to skip gears there. All right, we'll hang out right there. Okay, so I'll try to have a little bit more structure to this. My first opinions about the truck are, I would say if I were to give it a rating out of 10, I'd say about a 6.5 out of 10. The reason I say that there are positives about it are because you've got tons of customization. I really feel like there's options to suit everybody. Whether it's the bumper, the grille, the sleeper options, the chassis options, the rear bumper options, wheels, rims, the interior, the dashes are, they're okay. I think I've already mentioned that. The dash panel options are kind of lacking a little bit, but wow, okay, the brakes are so touchy. Maybe I should be using the Jake more. I think in general people say to use the Jakes more to protect the real brakes. That's what I think anyway. Sorry if I keep hitting the mic. Let me try to move that a little bit. There. Oh, it's a little bit further back. I'm not bumping it every time. So there's definitely positives about it. So yeah, the customization, the detail in the modeling is very, very decent. It's one of the, I think, on the higher up list of trucks that I've driven. So it's very, very detailed. Tons of stuff going on for really anybody. Of course, another positive is that it drives perfectly smooth in 152. That's the version I'm in. And it also lists on their website, as I read earlier, that it is supported in 1.53 as well if you're in the beta. So that should be all good there. And then another plus, if you're kind of into that, if you prefer to do it yourself, the option is there too, but it's got plenty of skins. I think this is probably, I want to say, the truck that's got the most paint job options that come built in with the truck that I've ever seen. There are tons of them. Most of them are kind of bland, so kind of just a warning there. I'm not super picky on truck skins, but I'm not going to drive with a paint job that looks kind of goofy. And then you can also get little chrome panels underneath the windows, like you probably saw in the beginning when I was first showing you the truck from the outside. So there are some paint jobs that conflict with that, so just be wary of that. Either go with a different paint job or just forego the chrome panels underneath the windows on the outside. That way it doesn't look so goofy. So there's, ways around that, but for the most part, I mean, it's definitely, another huge plus is that it's got options here that I've not seen in any other truck. So you are getting something unique from it. I can say that for sure. So I guess onto the, I hate to say negative, but, whoa, big stutters. I'll just say my constructive criticism, I suppose. Man, it still boggles my mind that we have white roads all the way in 152. I mean, this has been an issue for a while. I don't know what it is about, is it the way that the sun reflects off the road that just makes it so bright? It is bright, blinding. So onto the constructive criticism I think I would include here. I'll preface this with my personal view of mods, which I've talked about before. So technically, this is a mod, as in it gives you options that are not available in the base game, right, for ATS. So you're not going to get a truck of this caliber, of this detail in the base game. You have to, if you're ever wanting something more, that's when you go and you look for, third-party mod makers that have put tons and tons of time and money into not only developing these models, converting them into SES-compatible products, but purchasing the 3D models, too, because a lot of these mod makers, they don't make these models from scratch. They have to go and purchase the 3D models from other people, too. That are, a lot of times you'll find those other people that actually make the model who are separate from the mod maker are often credited in the manifest for these mods, because that's where the 3D models come from. The mod maker just kind of puts their personal touch into it and then converts the 3D model to SES content. So my point is, you're going to find a lot of mixed opinions about payware mods. The way that I see it, and I'm not expecting everybody to agree with me on this, this is purely a personal opinion, which I'm entitled to as much as anybody else. I think of mods as a third-party product. So it's a product of, someone's work that they developed for this game. So I see it exactly the same as I see a steering wheel or a gear shifter or a button box. These things are not required to play this game, but they enhance your gameplay experience. And if it's what you want and it's what you think that you'd enjoy, you're gonna do it, right? Now, when you think of like, I don't know, okay, so like the G29 wheelbase that I have and the pedals together, let's say MSRP is probably 200, 250. Your gear shifter is probably another 50. The button box over here is another 200. This specific steering wheel attachment that didn't come with the wheelbase is another 200. Right? It adds up. Oh, the head tracking is another one. Also not required, but people like to have it. People will go and make the argument about mods such as this one and say people should not be charging for these mods. You know, it's the game costs. Well, I don't even remember what the retail price is of the base game, like the base game by itself, ATS. Well, let's include the DLCs too. So let's say you're probably spending. Let's see, if you buy the game at full price, and then all the DLCs on top of that. So like the different wheel packs, the different paint job packs, all the state DLCs. I don't know, let's just throw a number out there and say you're spending between $50 and $60 to play the base game and the DLCs. People will look at a mod like this and say, why are you charging me for this? The base game is $20. Why do I need to spend more than what the game itself is worth for a single mod, right? I see it the same way as a steering wheel or a wheelbase or pedals or a shifter. It's a product. So people are going to charge whatever they think their product, quote unquote, is worth. That's how I see this. So there are plenty of other products, plenty of other mods on the Steam Workshop that are released for free, but I see them the same. I see them as a product, you know, whether or not they want to release it for free, whether or not each mod maker decides, you know, my time is worth free to me, or my time is worth $20, my time is worth $50, my time is worth $80. It's whatever each mod maker decides. And everybody has the option to decide for themselves if they want to invest it in that. Not everybody has to go and buy a steering wheel. Not everybody has to go and buy a gear shifter. Not everybody has to go and buy a button box. It's what each person wants to add to their experience. So, in my opinion, it's not really fair to go and complain to, you know, a mod maker, or to go and complain to Logitech for saying, why are you charging $200 for this steering wheel? The game costs $20. I shouldn't have to pay more than that to play it how I want it. It's like, you know, what argument are you trying to make? Like, if everybody felt that their time was worth, you know, free, just based on the principle that, oh, I'm designing it for this game and the game is worth $20, it's morally wrong for me to charge more for my mod than the game is worth, then I guarantee nobody would do that. Nobody would put the time in to making mods. I mean, I don't know. That's just the way I see it. So you're gonna get different opinions on that. So I guess that leads me to where I'm going to say my thoughts about this truck. Now, this truck is currently on sale. If you go to the link in the description below, and I also have the link to Fishpants Modding as well. I always link to the mod makers pages for everything I drive. You'll see that the sale that's going on right now, at the time of recording this, so it may not be there at the time that you're watching this if you're watching this at a later time, it's a 65% off sale, which means the price is now down to, they charge in euros, so you have to do the conversion when you pay through your card or PayPal, but 38 euros is the current price, and it's down from 100 euros. Okay? My opinion on that is, you don't have to tell me, right? For a single mod, $100 is a lot of money for a single mod. Whereas, I'll just use this as an example. John Ruda gives you how many trucks? 4 or 5 in a single bundle for, what is it, 70? And then, you know, there's other examples too, like Pizster's 389 is $80. You got Dom's 379, which is also up there too. So again, it's each person's intuition and their, you know, their opinion on whether or not they want to purchase a mod. So, my personal opinion, do I think this truck is worth 100 euros? I don't think any truck is worth 100 euros, okay? I'm going to say that. My general rule that I apply is I try not to spend above $60 for a mod. That's my cap. Like, usually, it's my cap. Now, I've spent $90 for, like, a package of 2 or 3 trucks. That's fine, because at that point, each truck, you know, when you break it down, is worth 30 or something like that. So, I held off on buying this truck until I saw that the sale happened, because it didn't, you know, it felt better to me to spend, you know, the 38 euros than 100 euros. So this is where it's going to kind of get, you know, a little, you know, iffy with people's opinions about a certain thing. I don't know, man. It's just a weird topic, but yeah. So, do I think that this truck as a product is worth 100 euros? No, because it's kind of evident to me that there are certain options in here that they feel that they were thrown in without them being very polished. On top of that, it's just too steep, man. They're like, you have to do something like revolutionary, like unparalleled, could never be replicated, something absolutely mind-blowing with a truck for it to justify an $100 price. Like, that's my opinion. Is this truck worth... Oh, watch out, car. You're not giving us enough room. Is this truck worth 38 euros? I believe so. At that price, I think you get a ton of stuff to mess around with. And I don't think I took this turn wide enough. Ooh, we'll see. Maybe this gate opening will be wide enough for us. Take it kind of gingerly here. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, we're good. Wow, talk about a tight drop-off spot. Do we have room over here to kind of maneuver? I think we do. Probably what I'm going to do is pass it up here, reverse into that spot the best I can, and then pull up into that parking lot. See what we can do, because this is a tight spot. Alright guys, I do apologize for having to cut there. I just wanted to spare y'all the torture of having to watch me reverse out of that spot. It took a lot of time. Alright, so let's just take a quick look out here, see what we gotta do. We gotta pull it around there, okay. So probably what we can do, use our reverse, or not our reverse, our wheel cam. No, not our wheel cam. Roof cam. Golly, get the terminology right. To hook this around like this. Make sure we don't hit anything over there. Maybe now we should probably start turning it. And of course, leave room so that we don't hit this. Okay. We're clear of the fence, I think. Oof, man, we missed it bad. Alright. Now that we're pretty much in the position we need to be in. can do the rest from inside. I hope. Man, having to use this mirror is always tough. I'm just not good at it. As many of you know, from different jobs you see me butcher in the past. Okay, I don't want to hit the door back there, so we'll just creep up a little bit, get it straight. That was me on the brakes, by the way. We didn't hit anything. I'm just being really, really nitpicky about it. Doesn't have to be super, super straight, but... Okay, that's good enough, I think. Whew, that was painful. Alright. Even more painful for me, because you didn't see the heckling I had to do to get it packed in there properly. Alright, so that was oil condensate delivered from Sidney to Casper. We got a nice paycheck out of that. Those tanker deliveries really pay very well because of the, I guess, the hazard class. That's what I'm thinking. Cool. Well, we'll hang out here for a second. So yeah, that's kind of my opinion on this. It's not really worth the steep price point that they ask for, I don't think. But what are you gonna do? You know, it's definitely got some positives. There's a lot of like glitching and buggy stuff that you'll find. Like I mentioned, the reverse cam doesn't work. What else? You got to be particular with like the trailer cable setup, because there's a lot of options for that. But not every trailer will, like, it just doesn't mesh. Like you'll see like the cables get like kind of run like inside the trailer at some points. This one works fine. The Fishpants tanker trailer works fine on it. But it's little stuff like that. Like you just got to play around with it and everything. So probably what I'm going to do also is mention briefly, it requires 15 mods. 15 different entries into your mod manager to load this truck. It's the GPS, your personal key, and then underneath that, it starts at 0, and then it works its way down. It's like 0, 1, 2, part 0, part 1, part 2, all the way down to 13. So they recommend, if you're going to run this truck, to run it in its own profile. Because if you have issues or run into bugs or anything, if you're going to reach out to the mod maker, they want to know that you're not running it with any other mods that are conflicting. So that's basically what I did. I cloned one of my other profiles, removed all my trucks, kept the trailers and everything else, and threw all 15 mods in there. And when you download them from the mod maker, they come in a variety of formats. They come, like 3 come in a .rar, and then the rest are .ses. They provide videos of how to load everything properly. That way there's no issues. But I'm just doing my duty, my job, to kind of give you guys the information that you need. That way you can make an educated decision. If you're on the fence about this truck, now at least you know a little bit about it. Maybe one of these days I'll go through like a build of it. It's not really my thing though to go through every option. I just kind of like to talk a little bit about it and drive it. So that's kind of my thing. But anyways, can I recommend this truck at the 35 euros? Yes. So if you're watching this and the sale is ongoing, I recommend getting it. Just make sure you follow the instructions on how to activate all the mods properly, and just have fun driving it. If everything works good for you and you're happy with the options, you've got a pretty kick-ass truck. That's what I can say. If it's not for you, if you don't like the price point or you don't care for the, what you saw today, perfectly fine. It's everybody's opinion. I just like kind of showcasing new stuff, and of course fueling my addiction for modded trucks. So that's what I got. That's what I got for you today. So, guys, if you enjoyed watching, I ask that you please subscribe and drop a like while you're at it. I appreciate the love and the support. Thanks to all the viewers and new subscribers. We're continually growing in subscriber counts, so that's amazing to see every time I check. Shout out, of course, to Hell Creek Trucking, all the drivers putting in miles. Definitely check back on if I'm doing a live stream or something like that. Feel free to join in. I love interacting with everybody in the chat and everything, so feel free to drop by sometime. We'll hope to see you back around the channel again. Until the next time, guys, everybody be safe. Have a great one.